A very good afternoon and welcome to our session on the topic Preventing Mosquito-borne Illness in Children. We are glad to have Dr. Sushant K. Bardatia among us today to help us understand the topic. The doctor will take us through that more in the session today. So stay tuned for all the important informations. If you have any doubts, any query, post that on the comment section and the doctor will take all your questions by the last of the session. So stay till the last for each and every details. Also, doctor, you have the stage.
Thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity. In this session, I welcome you all for this Facebook live session where we will be discussing important aspect of our parenting, like how to prevent mosquito-borne illnesses in our babies. So, as a parent, we are always worrying that there is so much mosquito bites in around our workplace and our home. So, what if my baby develops some mosquito-borne illnesses? So, first we have to understand that what are the mosquito-borne illnesses are. So, basically, there are five different illnesses. There's viruses and parasites that get transmitted through bite of mosquito. Basically, during bite, there are some local reactions. That is the most worrisome part on the parents, but that is the least important thing that happens after mosquito bite. The main thing that mosquito bite carries, that they transmit some microorganisms while they are having their blood meal. So it may be viruses or maybe the parasites, like specific mosquito breeds. They transmit specific parasites, like Anopheles transmit malaria, Aedes mosquito transmits chikungunya, dengue, and Zika virus, and Culex transmits the Japanese encephalitis virus and filariasis. So basically, these are the illnesses that are more riskier and more dangerous to the baby. So the mosquito bite reaction, local reactions are not much importance, but the after effects, like if it carries the parasites and viruses, then it bears a risk of contracting that illness. So, first of all, we should be vigilant enough as this all manifest with fever. So, any baby having fever without any additional symptoms like cough, cold, or loose motion, this possibility of these illnesses becomes real. So, at home, we should be vigilant enough so that if any baby is having fever without any obvious focus, so we should reach out to the pediatrician for their diagnosis. So there are some pointers or the specific signs where we should be more vigilant and proactive in contacting our pediatrician rather than sitting at the home. Like there is presence of severe joint pains. There are severe back pains. Baby is very irritable. There is photophobia. The baby avoids light. The baby wants to sit and lies in bed every time. So that will be an indicator that there is a very severe body pain and there will be joint pain. So joint pain and there is severe bone pain are features of chikungunya and dengue. In dengue, there is more in muscle and bone pain, and chikungunya there is more in joint pain. So it may be slightly different to differentiate per parents, but you have to understand that either is presence of muscle pain and bone pain, then it is the and along the fever, then it is slightly pointing towards any of the chikungunya or dengue like illness. So malaria, there is presence of severe high grade fevers, and there is presence of chills typically that may or may not be there. Presence of skin rashes are typically seen in dengue and chikungunya. So there is presence of skin rashes, reddish, small dot-like rashes, and there is a erythema, flushing of the skin. Then there is evidence that it may be one of the dengue or dengue-like illnesses. And malaria, there is no skin rashes are there. So if there is no obvious focus and the baby has some of these features, then that is pointing towards disease. This malaria, dengue, chikungunya are the common illnesses we encounter in baby, and Zika virus illness is not most common in our area, and most pregnant women are mostly affected. Um, the fibrosis, that is not a acute illness, that is a chronic illness actually, and that manifests with the enlargement of the lymph vessels and the very hypertrophy of the extremities. So basically, first we have to be vigilant enough if the baby is suffering from these three illnesses, and the first and foremost thing will be to prevent the mosquito bite. So it's very easy to say, but very difficult to achieve. And uh, as a common saying, mosquito bite looks innocuous, but this is the most common reason of death when the epidemic starts. So prevention are the three level you can we can prevent these illnesses. First is the personal protection. Second is the vector control. Third is the vaccination. So personal protection means we are just eliminating the risk of mosquito bite. First, by decreasing the adult mosquito population. Second, by preventing the bite. So, at personal protection means we are just reducing access of mosquitoes towards the babies or toward the personal. So first, we have to remove the breeding. First point we are talking about is the if we are saying vector control. Then first we have to eliminate the mosquito by two methods. First is to remove the breeding grounds so that the mosquito usually breed in the waterlogged areas. Waterlogged areas, empty pots having water, the potholes having water, and the any washing machine having a little bit of water, or the uh, air coolers having water. So these are the breeding grounds where the stagnant water carries the larva, mosquito larva to grow. And the adult mosquitoes then transmit from place to place. So first and foremost, to remove the breeding ground, it is can be done by the local regulatory bodies like resident welfare associations and the MCD institutions, where the legislative measures will help in regulating the storage, water storage areas and the waste disposal, so that there will be less breeding areas where the mosquito will be growing. Second, to kill the adult mosquito at a large scale, the fogging is the very effective way. We definitely use chemicals in that fogging method. So, although it poses some harm in inhalation and from the eye contact, so malathion is that usually used in the outdoor fogging. And third is the health education, awareness of parents and the community will be the last phase, where we will be sensitized enough so that the mosquito bite is taken as seriously as other health hazard. So, second point we have discussed, that the next comes the personal protection. So, at home, we should be the areas where there is mosquito menace is there. Then we should design our homes such a like that there is less entry of mosquito inside the home. So we should put mosquito screens or nets to all the doors and windows, and if there is any holes in the screen, then it should be repaired directly. Use of mosquito nets during sleeping is the best way to isolate mosquito from accessing your babies. So, if these are insecticide treated mosquito nets, then it becomes more effective. So, while sleeping, baby should wear full sleeve clothes that covers the arms and legs. And if still baby is not maintaining that covered aspect, then mosquito repellents like as per the baby's age we will discuss, that mosquito repellents you should use. And uh, when the baby is moving, not sleeping, then for the living areas and the balcony like areas, you should never allow stagnant water to remain there. Keep room clutter free so that the mosquito resting areas are eliminated. So keep the garden tidy. Use mosquito sprays in the areas where there is potentially mosquito rest, like under furniture, behind the curtains, outer areas like garage and flower beds. So these are where whenever there is mosquito resting areas are there or mosquito breeding areas are there. So these two areas we should target so that the density of mosquito population itself decreases, so that the chance of having their bite lessens. At school, also that out of 24 hours, almost if the baby is school going, then baby also spends around 6 to 8 hours at school. So that becomes more important when there is the epidemic phase or the season where the mosquito menace is there. So during school time, we should discuss with the school authority to devise such school uniforms where that which covers whole arm and leg, so that when baby are treating the classroom or in playground, the mosquito bite chance decreases. And do apply mosquito repellents while going to school, and use socks and shoes so that the leg areas are well protected. And similarly, at the classrooms should be fogged time to time, and the dark and damp areas should be avoided in the school. Similarly, when babies are going to park or play areas, then full sleep clothes are always advisable, and as appropriate, the mosquito repellents should be applied on the baby's body. Uh, Parents often ask, what are the safest repellent we can use? So theoretically and practically, mosquito nets are the safest to use, but they are very the compliance remains an issue. So it is more affected. There is just no negative health impact, but to have a compliance, this is more important, because parents often find it difficult to keep the babies inside the mosquito nets, and the ensuring that there is no mosquito passage in and out, so that becomes bit tricky. So if we are able to use mosquito effectively, there's no nothing is more effective than this mosquito nets. Second, is the mosquito rackets we use whenever there is bulk mosquito movement is there, but that is also very safe, as we can't keep on doing these things continuously for hours together. Second line of protection should be the creams and lotions or roll-ons like things, where we apply some chemicals on the baby's body so that it masks the body's odor or the sweat odor, so that it's not attracting any mosquito towards the baby, so that the bite prevents. So technically they are camouflaging baby's smell that mosquito can sense, so that the mosquito bite prevents. There is a mobile protection for baby, so baby can move around, and it cannot be applied 24/7 although, so it cannot be used alone. So even if baby is applying these cream lotions, always better to put the clothes that cover the extremities. So if baby are small enough and baby is not is effective, these lotions are not effective, then in addition to this, you can use the liquid vaporizers or mat coils. So their limitation is that they only cover limited areas, large hall, or when there is too many air currents, then it may not be effective, and with time also the resistance also develops. So although the chemicals contents are not so much toxic, but the liquid the room should be ventilated time to time so that the fresh air is available, so that there is no breathing issues. Third is the last thing we can do in personal protection, the pest control of the house. So whenever there is, despite of doing all these things, the mosquito control is not adequate, then time to time pest control and fumigation, fogging, these are the things we can do to control the mosquito things. Uh, what are the precautions we take while choosing a mosquito repellent? So, whenever we are going for any herbal or Ayurvedic, we can ensure that they're effective. Everything that is labeled herbal or Ayurvedic may not work actually. So, do apply and take multiple level of protections like clothings, the mosquito nets, and the roll-ons like thing. If we are using chemical labeled mosquito repellents, so there should be they should not be used less than 3 months of age. So before 3 months of age, we always avoid this application of this chemical containing mosquito repellents. And after 3 months, you can use them. Just ensure that they are not getting covered on the cracked or any cut areas, so that they will be absorbed in the body. Second, they should not be exposed to eyes, mucosa like eyes, nose, and mouth. Third, they should not be you applied on the palms, so that usually in this age group, babies are fond of putting their hand and mouth, so that they may be licked during their routine sucking. And if there is first time they are using, then should put a test dose like application in a particular area, so that to see if there is any allergic reaction to the baby. And if they are present, they are used in the house, then they should be used under the supervision of adults only. This cannot be left alone, the babies cannot be left alone to use themselves, so that we have received reports of ingesting them, so that there is the risk of toxicity. So always use that liquid vaporizers in a well ventilated room, so that the fresh air always there, and multiple level of protections are always better than single level of protections. So before all these protections are effective, first is the vector control, second the personal protection, third becomes the vaccination. uh, some out of these five illnesses we have discussed, some are covered by vaccination, some are not. Like that Japanese encephalitis is the only disease as of now that is covered with the vaccination. So as of now, government of India is advising Japanese encephalitis vaccination to all babies in particular high risk areas, not all these pan India institution. So those areas where there is the area is high risk for Japanese encephalitis, the routine schedule after 9 months of age, then there is 2 doses of Japanese encephalitis vaccination. You can discuss with your pediatrician. If you are opting for it, then it's also good. Second, but dengue, it is upcoming, that is final stage of vaccination, but this is not approved right now. So only Japanese encephalitis remains the single disease that is vaccine preventable. Drug, only malaria has the curing drug. Otherwise, all other diseases are only symptomatic management. So for dengue, encephalitis, or chikungunya, it is become the symptomatic management. So where the vector control and personal protection becomes par importance. So as of now, we have should be the topic should be clarified. So that first is the vector control, second is the personal protection, third is the vaccine. Whenever we are having high risk exposure, or then should take the vaccine what is available as of now. So that concludes our session. If there is any questions, we can take. Okay, so whatever we seeing, there is no questions left or for the session. So we conclude this session by understanding the fact that mosquito-borne illnesses are preventable, and it should be prevented at any cost. So thank you.